Hey guys, thank you for clicking on the video. My name is Tarren Pettigrew. I'm your local real estate expert out of Central Arkansas, and today I wanted to make a quick video on how the home buying process works. I think one of my strongest attributes as a realtor is really just taking a first-time home buyer, explaining the process and walking through it with them, and just showing them how simple it is. The first thing I would recommend is find a real estate agent in your area. Most of the time, you're going to know someone that's bought or sold a home within the past couple of years that just loves their real estate agent. And most of the time, that's who you're going to go with. But I would call, text, look up online, look at their Facebook and their socials, just see how active they are, and see if you could possibly have a good relationship with them. They become your friend through this process. The first thing I would do is find a real estate agent and have them recommend a lender for you. To start the process, you really need to talk with a lender, but I like connecting with a real estate agent first because they've dealt with a ton of lenders in the area and they know not only who not to use, but who they would trust. And so that's a big plus, and that's where I would start. Then with the lender, they're gonna ask you some basic questions. They're gonna get you pre-qualified or pre-approved, but they're gonna tell you kind of your price range to look at. They're gonna explain some mortgage rates, mortgage options for you, how much you're gonna be looking at putting down. They're gonna be able to give you an idea at how much money you actually need to buy the home. And the number one thing that I like whenever you talk with a lender is they're going to give you a price range. What I would hate as a real estate agent is showing you something for $200,000 and you love that price range, and then you get with a lender and you can only do $180,000, and so now you've fallen in love with this type of home and this type of price range that you really can't afford. And so before I start showing homes, I definitely want the client to talk with a lender just so we have an idea. It's going to save both of us time, but it's going to save you the emotion of getting connected with something that either you can't afford, or on the flip side, maybe we're looking at stuff at $160,000 that you don't love, and then we get you pre-qualified and you can afford the $200,000. Once you've been pre-qualified or pre-approved, depending on the bank, then you can start going out and looking at homes. And right now, that's the hardest part itself, is actually getting in a home and getting it an offer accepted. Everything else is just kind of paperwork, conversations, just turning things in, getting them done on time. But the real struggle right now is getting you in a home, not rushing you, but giving you time to make the decision, but also putting a competitive offer in so you can get in that house. And your realtor will be able to help you through finding the home, with apps like Zillow and Realtor and all these other resources. You're going to be seeing a lot of stuff that your realtor is going to see. And so normally I start a group chat with my clients. Anything that I see, the brokerage I'm with is Team ERA, and we have an app. And so through that app, I can send listings, and the client will either use that app or another resource and send into that group chat. And then we just set up a time and we go look at it. And then when it comes to putting in the offer, your real estate agent is really going to be the expert in this. They're actively showing, they're actively selling, listing homes. They know what type of offers are being created, what type of neighborhoods are driving prices up higher or maybe not as competitive as other neighborhoods. But right now in this market, getting under contract is kind of the real battle. Your competition's not the seller. It's really not the seller. You're competing with the other buyers in your area looking for the exact same thing. So that's why it's so important to go in pre-qualified or pre-approved so you can give them that letter and say, hey, we want this house, this is what we're offering, and this bank is the one that's going to do it for us. Once you're under contract, you have an inspection period, and so that's where you're going to work with a realtor. They should have a good recommendation for a home inspector. The home inspector is going to come out. They're going to try to find everything wrong with the property, give that information to you. Then from there, you and your realtor can talk and collaborate at what you want to ask the seller to repair. You're going to get that submitted. Every state's going to be different as far as contracts. In Arkansas, you have 10 business days to get the home inspected and that repair list submitted to the seller. Then the seller is going to have a period of time where they're going to look it over and respond to you. And then from there, that's really all you have to do with the realtor immediately. Once you're under contract, you're doing the inspection with the realtor, and then your loan officer, your lender, is going to be asking you for W-2s or other tax information, proof of employment. They're just going to be asking you for this documentation, and it's super important to make sure as soon as your lender lets you know what they need, you get it to them, hopefully that day. If a transaction is delayed, a lot of times it's started because the buyer hasn't submitted the information kind of in a timely manner to the lender, because the lender is not able to push it through the process until they have all of those documents. Then the bank is going to send out an appraiser. You're not going to the home to meet the appraiser, anything like that, but this is just someone that the bank is sending out to make sure they're loaning an appropriate amount of money for that house. Then from there, we've had our inspection, our appraisal, all the repairs that were requested and kind of negotiated between the buyer and seller have been completed, and now we're at the closing table. As soon as you go under contract, your realtor is going to talk to you about what title company to close with, and again, they're just an awesome resource because they've worked with all the title companies in town. Then you're going to do the final walkthrough. Maybe that's right before closing, the night before, but you're going to go through, make sure all the repairs were done, that were said, and make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be. You know, there's not a massive hole in the floor that wasn't there whenever you had originally made the offer that got accepted. But you're just going through, this is normally kind of a fun activity. You're thinking about where you're going to put the couch. You're excited about moving in over the weekend and just making sure that everything is ready to go. Then you're going to go close at the title company. And again, the title company and the real estate agent, they're going to help you with all of that and getting all the time set up. Closing, this should be a great time for you to practice your autograph because you're going to have to sign a lot. Here, my market in Arkansas, a buyer closing, not selling a home, but just buying their first home, it's going to be about a 30-minute signing. You just bring your ID and you bring the funds that the lender and the title company will let you know way ahead of time. And then you're going to sit there. The title agent's going to hand you the paperwork, explain what you're signing, make sure everything's correct. And it's just kind of a fun process that seems daunting at first. But at this point, you've went through all of this. You're just so happy to be at the closing table. You're so happy to get those keys and move in. Once you've signed and everything's been completed, make sure you take the picture out front of the title company or out front of the home. It's just something really good to reflect on. It's something super fun to post on your social media and everyone kind of congratulates you. And that is it. That's just kind of an overview of how it works. So I'd find a real estate agent, a lender, start looking for the home and go under contract, do your inspection with the realtor, your appraisal with the lender, and then the final walkthrough and the close. And there you go. You own your first home. Some of this stuff does change by market, just slightly here and there, some details, but your real estate agent that you find is really going to be able to break down every aspect of this and walk you through the process. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Tarren Pettigrew. You can follow my social medias below, comment, ask me any questions. I would love to help. I'm an active real estate agent. I'm an active real estate investor. But thank you guys for watching. Please connect with me on social media and have a great day.